Hi, my name is Laura Suban. Many of you know me. I've been coming to this church for 23 years. Some of you don't, though, so I will introduce myself. First, I'll tell you what I'm not. I am not a trustee. I am not on the finance committee. I am not on church council. But what I am is a member of Good Shepherd United Methodist Church. In July, the Finance and Church Council approached me and asked if I would help with a fundraiser. The first question I asked was, what are we raising money for? And they said, we have some roof repairs, and the last time we replaced an air conditioner was in 1998. So then I gulped and I said, how much money are we raising? And they said, it's going to be $250,000. And I gasped, and I grabbed my chest, and I'm like, I have only baked cupcakes. I've only done bake sales. How can I help you? And they said, we can brainstorm together and come up with a way. We can do this. And I absolutely believe that. But more important, I will tell you, I have been a trustee chair, and I know the men and women who have had the positions of trustee and trustee chair for many years. I can tell you that Brian Cook knows how to pinch a penny so hard he can make it cry. That's true. And I also know that if they say there's an immediate need, they mean it. And this is where I come in. This is my church. This is our church. We have been called to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And now is our time to make sure that the legacy of Good Shepherd can continue. I have been called to invest in her, and I have been called to ask others to do so as well. So for the next 5 years, we're going to have a Building Grace campaign where we are raising money for capital expenses and the general fund. The capital expenses will cover items such as roof repair, air conditioning units, and other immediate needs of the capital expenses. The general fund will cover the likelihood of a budget shortfall due to us coming out of a pandemic and people slowly returning to in-person worship. Now I would like to explain how the campaign would work. I've built a structure. The structure you will see looks a lot like Good Shepherd. It has our windows and it has a steeple and it reminds me of home. So on the roof there are tiles that have increments of $10 to $1,000 on each tile, and there are 100 tiles on the roof. On the front there are bricks, and every single brick has $100 on it. The difference is there are two different general designated funds. The first fund is for the capital expenses. Again, it would cover things such as roof repair and air conditioner replacements. The bricks are for the likelihood that there will be a shortfall in the budget for this year, for next year, as we're coming out of the pandemic. If you were to choose the capital expenses envelope, it would have a money amount. You get to choose whatever you feel led to choose. So again, this isn't this week, this isn't this month, this is all the way until June 1st of 2022. So this envelope is $360. Over the next 6 months, that would be $60 a month going towards the roof repair, if this was an envelope that you chose. On the inside of there's an envelope on the back, and there's a card on the inside. The first side has a number that matches the number on the outside of the envelope. The first thing it says is thank you. And let's focus on that. Thank you. Thank you so much for contributing to being the hands and feet of Jesus for the next 50 years, for doing the things that we've been able to do for our community, for our friends, for those who aren't our friends but want to be our friends and come wandering in off the street. In this very room, We have had concerts, we've had plays, we've had Korean worshipers, we've had prayer groups, we have had youth groups setting up forts and camping out here for the 30-hour famine. We have lived and loved in this very room. Oh my gosh, here I go. It's really important that we continue on Good Shepherd's legacy. On the other side of the card, let me refocus. On the other side of the card, it says, my donation is enclosed, or I pledge to complete it by June 1st, 2022. So you may not have $360 in your checking account right now to write a check, but you may plan to do it by June 1st of next year. So you would check that box, put your name and your address in there, put it back in the envelope, and then drop it in the offering basket, or there will be a clear plexiglass, and this will go to the finance people, and they will keep track of our pledges. Same thing with the brick. The bricks are all $100. It has the same card on the inside. You do not have to write a check today, tomorrow, even this month. But by June 1st, if you pick one of these off the structure, then you will be pledging to give $100 by June 1st of 2022. It's super important for me to explain to you that this is second mile giving. That if you say, I want to give $100 to the budget deficit, you don't take it out of your tithing, because that's the opposite of what we're looking for. We have to have our tithing, and then this is in addition to it. We don't want to make the situation more difficult by taking away our tithing to contribute to a designated fund. I ask that you each prayerfully consider what you can do for Good Shepherd. There are a lot of options out there. There's the general fund, and then there is the roof fund. And again, it's from $10 to $1,000. Hopefully there's a tile in there for everyone who comes to this church, who loves this church. I thank you for giving me this time to talk to you. You know I could talk all day because I love this church, and I love so much about every Sunday of getting to spend it with you. I love this church, and I love you. God bless.